Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Divorce Coach Diaries. Today, I am calling our episode Radical Beliefs. I wanted to share some beliefs that I have and call upon regularly that I actually do believe and that serve me to believe. There is no downside in any of these things that I'm going to share with you for me in believing them. And so, just in case you are stuck in a cycle of negative talk or self doubt or self loathing or fighting with reality, I wanted to offer you some thoughts to try out and see if it's possible for me to believe them. It might just be possible for you to believe them as well. The first one is this: the universe is conspiring in my favor. Now, there was a time in my life where I did not believe this. It felt like everything was going wrong, everything was ruined, and that I would never feel happy or healthy again. However, I tried in small moments to believe this. My coach offered it to me, and she probably had to suggest this to me several times before I started to be willing and loose enough to actually give space to the possibility that, in fact, what if it's true? What if the universe is conspiring in my favor? How amazing would that be? What if it's true? Because here's the thing, our brain wants to keep us safe. It's doing its job. Its job is to conserve energy, seek pleasure, and avoid pain. Our brain is always looking out for danger. That's its job. And because of this, because our default mode is to look for problems, the beliefs like this one don't come supernaturally to most of us. We have to try them and practice them on purpose. But here's what I've found: the more airtime that I do give to being open to the possibility that the universe is conspiring in my favor, the more evidence that I actually find that this is true. And now I believe it. This does not mean that there is nothing challenging, hard, painful, sad in my life. There still are those things, but I am so much more quickly and easily able to come back to the idea that everything is working in my favor. For me, there is no downside to believing that. My second belief that I want to encourage you to try out is I don't have to know how. As humans, when we have a goal or when we are worried about something or when we want to make a decision, we want to know all of the steps and how everything is going to look along the way. We want to know what's going to happen, what's not going to happen, how to prepare for all of those things. And this is impossible. That is just not how life works. And I know that if you can look back on things in your life, you can see this clearly. Everything went completely differently than you thought it would. But for some reason, it's still so easy for us to get stuck in the trap of when we're making plans or when we're trying to decide something or when we're trying to prevent something. We still do this. We try to plan it all out. It feels safer to us. And of course it does. It makes sense. But here's the thing, it just doesn't work. We can't possibly know how. However, you are still allowed to believe that the universe is conspiring in your favor, and we don't know how that's going to work. But when we let go of feeling like we need to know how, that's when the magic happens. That's when we're our most creative. It's when we're our most open. It is where the beautiful things in our life happen. So we get to believe anything that we want, and we don't have to know the how. We can't know the how. And the more that I remind myself of this, when I find myself stuck in the trap of, okay, well, yeah, that'd be great, but how's that going to work out? Or, yeah, I mean, I kind of believe that this will be okay, but how? I remind myself again, I don't have to know how. The how is none of my business. And then it allows me to actually, ironically, get to work making what I want happen. The next thought I want to share with you is I am right on track. Here's why this is so powerful to me. It's really easy to feel like you're behind. Maybe you feel like you're behind in your health goals. Maybe you are not where you want to be in a career, or maybe you feel like it's not fair and you shouldn't have to start over when you're 40 and look for another partner if that's what you want. Maybe you were a stay-at-home mom for 15 years and now you're divorced and you've got to get a job. And it's so easy to feel like I am completely behind. This isn't fair. I shouldn't have to start over like this at this point. I get it. It's challenging, but you believing and looking for evidence that I'm totally behind, I'll never catch up, that won't serve you. So, what if you are right on track? What if everything in your life has led you to this exact moment and you are not behind? What if you have just the right amount of time to do everything that you are supposed to do? What if that's true? Again, there's no downside to trying out thoughts like this and just see how they feel. And again, if it's possible for me to believe that, I'm no different than you. If it's possible for me, it's possible for you. And sometimes that's all we need. Oh, well, she believes that she's right on track. What if I'm actually right on track too? And when you open your mind up to that, you're going to find proof that you are not behind and that you are right on track. The next thought I want to offer to you is everyone is doing their best. This can be hard to believe because sometimes people's best is terrible. But what if it's true? What if that is all they are capable of? And if they knew better or could do better, they would be doing better. And none of our bests look the same. We are all different. We are all the product of our lived experiences. And sometimes our best is awful. But there's no downside to believing that everyone is doing their best. And that doesn't mean that you don't have boundaries or that you don't decide that you're not willing to be in the same type of relationship with that person anymore. Of course, us believing that everyone is doing their best, it just gives us information like, if this is their best, this is not something I'm willing to tolerate or be a part of. I get it. That's their best. It's all they're capable of. It's okay. And I'm going to remove myself from the situation. But when I believe that everyone is doing their best, it helps me have more love and compassion for everyone in the story. And I'd much rather make a decision from a place of love and compassion for myself and for them than resentment, anger, disappointment, betrayal, all sorts of these other feelings that we so often feel in a situation like this. But if you decide to try on, everyone's doing their best. What is the downside for you in believing that? The last one I want to share with you today is the belief that people's behavior is about them and not about me. This is always true. It's true for us and it's true for everybody else. Our behavior is about us and what's happening inside of us, just as other people's behavior is 100% about them and not about us. Now, sometimes when I offer this to someone, they might say something like, okay, so if I believe that, then I can do whatever I want and it shouldn't affect anyone else. Or, so that person's terrible behavior shouldn't affect me. Is that what you're saying? And no, that's not what I'm saying at all. Of course, because we are healthy humans, other people's behavior affects us. And again, that's where boundaries come in. So you can believe that that behavior is not about you at all, even when that other person is saying, you're causing me to do this. Or if you wouldn't have done that, then I wouldn't have had to react like this. It's just not true. Their behavior is about them and not about you. And believing this does not get rid of any sort of accountability. So, bottom line is our behavior is a reflection of what's happening inside of us. It's true for us and it's true for everybody else. It doesn't mean that you are a terrible mom if your toddler is having a tantrum on the floor of the grocery store. That behavior is about them and what's happening inside of them. It's not about you. I know that is a lot easier to believe than when, say, a spouse or a partner behaves really toxically toward us. It's natural and it's normal to make it be your fault. They might even be telling you it's your fault. But the more you can practice believing this behavior is not about me, it's about them. It's about what is going on inside of them. And people's bad behavior always comes from a place of pain or fear. And it doesn't mean that we don't make choices that are healthy for us. We don't have to stay in a relationship that's not good for us. We get to make the healthy choices from a place of love and compassion for everyone in the story while believing that their behavior is not about us. This will set you free. So once again, the beliefs I wanted to leave you with today are the universe is conspiring in my favor. I don't have to know how. I am right on track. Everyone is doing their best, and other people's behavior is about them and not about me, just as my behavior is about what's happening inside of me and not about anyone else. So that's what I have for you today, friends. Let me know what you think. Let me know if any of these beliefs or thoughts are something that is helpful to you. I'd love to hear from you. Come and find me on all the places on social at Meg the Divorce Coach. Come and book a free coaching session and let's talk about it and let's see what we can do to make one of these thoughts that feels so attractive to you and feel like if you could believe that, you would be so empowered. Let's talk about it. Come and book a free session at megthedivorcecoach.com/free coaching. I can't wait to meet you. Have a great weekend.